8 minutes past 8 now.
Whether or not you're a huge fan of Michael Jackson or not, it doesn't matter. Personally, I'm very surprised. I'm very shocked by the whole thing. Let's celebrate Michael Jackson's life with a cracking record.
The Chris Moyles Show.
This has to be played loud. Enjoy.
International Radio 1.
Coldplay and Speed of Sound at BBC Radio 1. And before that, Michael Jackson, one of my favourites, Man in the Mirror. A hell of a lot of text messages from people about that track.
Do you want some of these as reaction?
Yeah, it looks like we set a lot of people off crying when we played that track.
Okay, here's just a few. Just gave me goosebumps. It's a classic tune, classic man, says Dan in Hailsham. I just turned it up full, opened my window, and cars are beeping outside me. R.I.P. Michael Jackson, says Pippa on the text. Thanks, Chris. I'm now crying like a baby, says Neil at work in Leeds. I've just got to the office early to be alone, and all the staff have done the same. It's going to be a sad day at work. He just made the UK cry. Michael Jackson at his best. A nice one, Chris. I'm a truck driver who doesn't normally cry till now. Got to be one of his best records ever, says Joe on the text.
Alad almost cried as well. He was going. I gave him a hug. I was mouthing the lyrics. I turned up the collar on his winter coat.
I did. I had a little tear. I had to wipe it away.
I know you did. That's sad. Really sad news. Michael Jackson has passed away. Died last night. In Los Angeles. Jonathan Blake from Newsbeat is in the States, is in New York. Hey, Jonathan.
Hi, Chris.
So, it's what, 20 past 3 in the morning where you are?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Oh, man, you're never going to get any sleep.
You get the best hours, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm used to it. Don't worry, it's fine.
Okay, so, I don't really know what else to say apart from, I know you were on earlier, but just to recap everything we said then, for those people who weren't listening, just kind of run us through the story again about what happened.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to say, isn't it, really? But, well, it was kind of early evening here last night, 5 o'clock New York time, when the news started coming through. We were getting reports that Michael Jackson had been taken to hospital at that stage. That's all we really knew. He apparently had a heart attack, but even that wasn't confirmed. So, the news started trickling through from various different sources. It was impossible to confirm anything officially, even though, we tried putting calls in and everything. But it wasn't long before the news came through and lots of news outlets started reporting that Michael Jackson had died, and before too long it was confirmed around 7 o'clock in the evening here last night that Michael Jackson had died in hospital. It seems he suffered a heart attack and then went into a coma, and as soon as the news came out, there's just been an incredible reaction from here, really. People are, as you were saying, everyone's just in shock, really. But because it was slightly earlier in the evening last night, not many people had gone to bed. A lot of people have just sort of stayed up and either, gone into town. I was in Times Square in the centre of New York earlier. Lots of people have just gone there to hang out and kind of be with each other and talk about it. And lots of people are having impromptu parties. You can hear his songs, coming out of windows in apartment buildings and cars driving along the street playing his songs with the windows wound down. So yeah, it's a bizarre atmosphere, but people are kind of celebrating his music.
I said this earlier, only yesterday I got invited to to his first night at the O2, and
you were about to email back today, weren't you, to sort of say that you could go?
It's too late.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen now.
Yeah, so many people have been looking forward to that, and that was his comeback. Although lots of people weren't really convinced that he was necessarily going to pull it off. It was something that all his fans around the world were looking forward to him getting back on stage and performing. And it was what next week or the week after, it was going to be really soon. And he was rehearsing in LA, and there had been some talk that he'd been struggling with rehearsals and that kind of thing. But you never really know. None of that was confirmed. But it seems that he wasn't very well, and we had the sad news last night that he died.
Jonathan, some people were saying that he wasn't going to be doing the whole show because of his he wasn't very heavy. He'd lost quite a lot of weight and stuff. Have there been any talk about that on the news channels in America?
Yeah, there'd been some talk that ever since the first few of those dates that were supposed to be at the O2 were postponed, there'd been rumours and there'd been speculation that it was because of Michael Jackson's health, but, that was denied. The promoters and his management said it was just to do with how complex the show was and how big it was going to be. So, as far as, he was concerned and his people were concerned, he was in good shape and ready to do the shows. But, I'm not sure how many fans genuinely believe that, having seen him at the press conference, earlier on this year when he announced it, which was, interesting. It was good to see him there on stage, but he was struggling there. So people were kind of thinking, how is he going to manage to do 50 dates?
Yes, 50 days is a lot for anybody. I mean, for any kind of 50-year-old, it doesn't matter, what state you're in, but still it's a lot. The footage they keep showing on the TV is when, I take it it's when he announced the O2 gigs, when Dermot O'Leary is on stage and introduces him. Because I think he looks very chipper on there. He looks as good as Michael Jackson's looked in a long time. And then there was the other conference, wasn't there, where he didn't look so good. Yeah. But look, who knows? I mean, that's my worry, is that maybe stories are going to start coming out.
They will, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know there are certain rumours already flying around, and I have a feeling that they're just literally rumours, because I was seeing on Twitter last night rumours of, sleeping tablets and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But there's, I'd be very surprised if any of that was true, only for the speed of which that news seemed to, or those rumours trickled out. But you just don't know. I mean, and let's just hope, whichever way it went, it was kind of peaceful. But
be interesting to see, Jonathan, on the back of what you're saying about people celebrating in Times Square, etc., and in Harlem in New York, where you are. Be interesting to see what the mood is as America wakes up this morning, because it's always totally different, I think, in the cold light of day, isn't it? Because people will have found out in the evening and then gone to bed on this news and then woken up, and as they travel to work on this Friday morning on the subway and whatever, people will be talking in offices and on the buses and whatnot. It'll be interesting to see how the mood changes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's all anyone is talking about here, and whilst that initial reaction is of shock amongst people, and it was a really surreal night here last night, then I guess, as you say, later on today people will start to talk about it, and there's just so much to get into. Everything he did in his life, bizarre and tragic in a lot of ways that it was. There's just so much to remember, of him and as well as his music. And there's some incredible pictures coming out of LA actually tonight of fans just all standing in a huddle, all with white gloves on. On one hand holding them up, and lots of them are crying, and I think there's going to be a lot of outpouring of emotion, certainly here in the US and from his fans around the world over the next few days.
Oh, but there's no shadow of a doubt, apart from being a massive star, he had some of, let's be honest, the most kind of die-hard, some would say freakish fans.
Certainly fanatical.
Good God, yeah. I mean, you get proper screamers with Michael Jackson. I mean, Alad is just the tip of the iceberg.
I mean, he's quite normal, really, in comparison.
It is true.
Yeah.
I would be one of those people to queue for almost a day when they announced tickets were coming. I used to go to Cardiff's Arms Park, and just queue outside until they released tickets. I was one of those people.
Did you ever wear one glove?
I did. I have a glove.
That's because you lost the other one, though, wasn't it?
In fact, Alad was so much of a fan of Michael Jackson's, Jonathan, that he once admitted to me he had two separate clubs, so he could pretend to be Michael Jackson on different occasions.
I'm going to show you photos, Chris. I have them.
I'm all right.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm fine. All right, listen, Jonathan, thank you, man. I know it's probably been a very long evening for you in New York, but thanks for telling us kind of how it is over there, and good luck trying to get any sleep.
Yeah, thanks very much.
All right, thanks, man.
Cheers, bye.
Cheers, Jonathan. Bye-bye.
That ISDN line to Jonathan, clear as it was, though, it did sound like there was somebody playing bongo drums or a very loud bass stereo in the room next door. You could just kind of hear boom, 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 boom halfway through.
That's possibly the celebrations going on.
Could be. Could be living next to them. I'm celebrating at 3:30 in the morning when you're trying to get your kit. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to play half an hour of Michael Jackson songs between 9:30 and 10, because we always do the golden hour on a Friday. Golden hour is going to be like this then. 9 o'clock, as normal. Guess the year. Songs from 1 year, guess what it is, text in, all of that. We'll do that like we always do. And then 9:30 to 10, we're all going to choose Michael Jackson's song. I mean, look, you can almost predict what we're going to play between 9:30 and 10, and we're just going to whack out the massive hits.
Why not? Because we can.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do that after 9 o'clock today. It's 8:28. BBC Radio 1, Friday 26th of June 2009.
Don't try to explain your mind